Hi, welcome to Elizabeth's Cozy Kitchen. Today we are going to be making one of my favorite things. It's chocolate. It's chocolate. It is the Brazilian truffles. So here in the blender I had soaked 1.5 cup cashews. Put that on. Super simple recipe. I'm then going to add 3/4 cup of chocolate powder. Let's get this out of there. I had a tablespoon in there from when I use the chocolate for my smoothies. I just keep the measurements in the green powder and the chocolate. So there we go, 3/4 cup of chocolate powder. And then 3/4 cup of maple syrup or your sweetener of choice. Now this recipe, I have to say, is one of the more expensive ones that I make. That's all gone. Because of maple syrup, and cocoa butter is not so cheap either. So we have, so far, we have the cocoa butter, we have the maple syrup, the cocoa powder, and the cashews in there. I'm going to put a splash of vanilla. You know me, Italian roots, we don't measure. A pinch of salt. And cinnamon. Now I make 2 different versions of this exact same truffle, and there is only 2 differences. There's cinnamon in the center of this one and this one, and it's going to be coated in coconut. For the other one, the only thing different I'm going to be doing is I do not add the cinnamon, and I roll it in Enjoy Life chocolate chips. That one's like a double chocolate one. So we have 3/4 cup cocoa powder, 1.5 cup soaked cashews, 3/4 cups maple syrup, a teaspoon vanilla, a teaspoon of cinnamon, some salt, and cacao butter. So normally a lot of times we use cocoa butter, but in this recipe it's cacao butter. So it makes it a little bit more expensive as well, but it makes it firmer as opposed to the cheesecakes we normally make. And get ready for a blend. A little bit of cashew chunks in this one, just little tiny ones, and because I like it super smooth, I'd probably normally blend it just a little bit, but to save time, this is a 3/4 ounce scoop. So there's 2 things you can do. See, there's one big chunk of cashew. Put that off to the side. You can either let this harden, which I normally was doing, and then scooping, but I found the trick that made it easier is I scoop out my little serving size, so I know how big they are, and I put them aside, and I'll show you what I just did in a second. So I make, this, each one is going to be a ball, and then you're going to put it in the fridge. I'm going to put it in the freezer. I'm going to try and trick the time elapse thing because I don't do editing. But here I have this tray, and I'm going to fill the whole tray up with these little blobs. Blah, 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 blah. So just imagine the whole tray getting filled up with that. Actually, I'm going to blend some more. The problem seems to be with this one, and I had a feeling this would happen, is I ran out of a little bit more maple syrup I needed. Just a couple tablespoons more. And so this is a little bit thicker than it normally is, and so the blender is having a little bit of issues. But according to a few friends, their favorite part is when I mess up. So yay! No. So I'm going to explain to you a little bit on how this works. So the same thing with raw cheesecakes, that a raw truffle is liquid because the cocoa butter is liquid. Because I had to heat the cocoa butter up and it's solid at room temperature. Coconut oil can be liquid or solid. And so when it gets cold, the cocoa butter is going to re-firm up and then it creates this firm ball. So let's see if I can roll one of these. Probably not, it's going to be messy. Yeah, it's way too messy. So I would take one in a ball and then dip it all around in the cocoa. I should have made a second recipe ahead. This is terrible. I don't care. It's going to still be delicious. It's still going to be delicious. Because it's chocolate. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to run downstairs where I have a stash. And I'm going to show you what it looks like. Speedy! This is my massage waiting area. Usually my clients are the ones who like these recipes. Here are the double chocolate truffles. You see that? That's what they're going to look like after they firm up, or you can coat them in chocolate chips or coconut. And there you go. Thank you for joining me for Elizabeth's Cozy Kitchen and my cozy massage waiting area. Manja.